Francisco.
For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart.
Have you had quiet guard?
Not a mouse stirring.
Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste.
I think I hear them. Stand ho, who's there? Friends, to this ground.
And liegemen to the Dane.
Give you good night.
Farewell, honest soldier. Who hath relieved you?
Bernardo has my place. Give you good night.
Hola, Bernardo.
Say, what, is Horatio there?
A piece of him.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What? Has this thing appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him. Touching this dreaded sight, twice seen by us, therefore I have entreated him along to witness the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition come, he will approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, tush. 'Twill not appear.
Sit down a while and let us once again assail your ears that are so fortified against our story what we have 2 nights seen.
Well, sit we down. Let us hear Bernardo speak of this.
Last night, of all, when yon same star, that's westward from the pole, had made his course to illumine that part of heaven, where now it burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating once.
Peace! Break thee up! Look, where it comes again!
In the same figure, like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar, speak to it, Horatio!
Looks it not like the king? Mark it, Horatio!
Most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder.
It would be spoke to.
Question it, Horatio!
What art thou that who servest this time of night and sometimes march? By heaven I charge thee, speak!
It is offended!
See, it knocks away!
Say, and speak, I charge thee, speak!
'Tis gone and will not answer.
How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What think you on it?
Before my God, I might not this believe without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Looks it not like the king?
As thou art to thyself, 'tis strange.
Thus twice before, and jump at this dead hour, with martial stalk as it done by our want.
In what particular thought to work I know not, but in the gross and scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state. Stop! Behold, lo, where it comes again! I'll cross it through it, blast me! Stay! Illusion! If thou hast any sound, or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done that makes thee do ease and grace to me, speak to me. For if thou art privy to that country's fate, which happily foreknowing may avoid, oh, speak. For if thou hast reported in thy life extorted treasure in the womb of earth, for which they say you spirits oft walk in death, speak of it. Stay and speak! Stop it, Marcellus!
Should I strike it in with my partisan?
Do will thou stand!
'Tis here!
'Tis here!
'Tis gone! We do wrong, being so majestical to offer it this show of violence. For it is as the air invulnerable, and our vein blows malicious mockery.
But look, the morn and russet mantle cloud walks o'er the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break we our watch up, and by my advice let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For on my life this spirit dumb to us will speak to her. If you consent, we shall acquaint her with it, as needful in our loves and fitting our duty.
Let's do it, I pray, and I this morning know where we will find her most conveniently.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe, yet so far hath discretion fought with nature that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, with mirth in funeral and with dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all, our thanks. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is Laertes? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane and lose your voice. What wouldst thou beg, Laertes, that shall not be my offer, not thy asking? The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, then is the throne of Denmark to thy mother. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave in favor to return to France, from whence, though willingly, I came to Denmark, to show my duty in your coronation. Yet now, that duty done, I must confess, my thoughts and wishes bend again towards France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your mother's leave? What says Polonium?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave, by laboursome petition, and at last upon his will I sealed my heart consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet, and my daughter,
A little more than kin and less than kind.
how is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lid seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
Well, if it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems? Madam, nay, it is, I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspirations of forced breath, no, nor the fruitful river and the eye, nor the dejected haver of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem. There are actions that a man may play, but I have that within which passeth show. These but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father, but you must know, your father lost a father, that father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persever in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis uncomely grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. For what we know must be, and is as common as any the most vulgar thing to sense, why should we in our peevish opposition take it to heart? Fie! 'Tis a fault to heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature, to reason most absurd, whose common theme is death of fathers, and who still hath cried from the first course till he that died today, this must be so. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, our cousin, and our daughter.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart, in grace whereof no jocund health that Denmark drinks today, but the great cannons of the clouds shall tell, and the kings rouse the heavens all brute again, re-speaking earthly thunder. Come, away!
That this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter, oh God. God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world filed. Ah, fie, 'tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed, and things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. It's so excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not fatigue the winds of heaven, visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember why she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month, let me not think on't, frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, ere those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor father's body, like Niobe. Oh, tears, what she, even she, oh God, a beast, that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules within a month, ere did the salt from most unrighteous tears at the flushing in her galled eyes she married. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets, yea, it is not, nor cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
I am glad to see you well. Horatio, for I do forget myself.
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. And what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Oh, Marcellus, I am very glad to see you. Good even, sir. But what in faith make you from Wittenberg?
A truant disposition, good my lord.
I know you are no truant. But what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart, huh?
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I pray thee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ere I had seen that day, Horatio. My father, methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man, taken for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father!
Cease your operation for a while with an attent ear till I may deliver upon the witness of these gentlemen this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch in the dead vast and middle of the night been thus encountered. A figure, like your father, appears before them. Thrice he walked by their oppressed and fear surprised eyes, whilst they stood dumb and did not speak to him. This to me in dreadful secrecy impart they did. And I with them the 3rd night kept the watch, where each word made true, and good the apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
But did you not speak to it?
I did, but answer made it none. Yet once methought it lifted up its head and did address itself to motion like as it would speak. But even then the morning cock grew loud, and at the very sound it shrunk in haste away and vanished from our sight.
Oh, 'tis very strange.
Upon my life, my honored lord, 'tis true. And we think it redounded our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed, friends, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight.
We do, my lord.
What, looked he frowningly?
Countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Oh, I would I had been there.
It would have much amazed you.
I will watch tonight, perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
But as soon my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. Oh, I pray you all, if you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still, and whatever else shall happen tonight. Give it an understanding, but no tongue. I will requite your loves, so fare you well. All upon the platform, twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
Your loves is mine to you. Farewell. Oh, my father's spirit in arms, all is not well. Why, I doubt some foul play. Oh, would the night were come! But till then, sit still, my soul, Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell, and sister, as the winds give benefit and convoy is assistant, do not sleep. But let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet in the trifling of her favor, hold in a fashion, and a toy in blood, a violet in the youth of primy nature. Forward, not permanent, sweet, not lasting, the perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more, but so.
Oh, think it no more. Perhaps she loves you now, but you must fear. Her greatness weighed, her will is not her own. For she herself is subject to her birth. For on her choice depends the health and safety of this whole state. Then weigh what loss your honor may sustain, if with too credent ear you list her songs or lose your heart. Fear it, Ophelia, fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the weir of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire. Be wary. Best safety lies in fear. Youth itself rebels, though none else sneer.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But good, my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whiles like a puffed and reckless libertine himself the primrose path of dalliance treads that recks not his own. Read.
Oh, fear me not! I stay too long. Here my mother comes.
Yet here, Laertes. Aboard, for shame! The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are straight for. There. My blessing with thee. End these few precepts in thy memory, see thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in bed that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man, and they in France, of the best rank and station, are of a most select and generous chief in that. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This, above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invites you, go, your servants tend.
Oh, farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is Ophelia he hath said to you?
So please you something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Married, well bethought. 'Tis told me she hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
She has, my lord, of late made many tenders of her affections to me.
Affections! Pooh, you speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe her tenders as
I do
you
not
call
know,
them?
my lord, what I should think.
Mary, I'll teach you. Think yourself a baby that you have ta'en these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly, or, not to crack the wind of the poor phrase running it thus, you'll tender me, a fool.
She hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
Aye, fashion you may call it. Go to, go
and hath
to.
given countenance to her speech with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
I do know when the blood burns how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, even in their promise you must not take for fire. Be somewhat scanter of your maiden presence, do not believe her vows. This is for all. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you so slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge thee. Come your ways.
Shall obey, my lord.
The air bites shrewdly. It is very cold.
It is a nipping and an eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lacks of 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed, I heard it not. that it draws near the season wherein the spirit held his wont to walk. What does this mean?
My lord, the king doth wake tonight and takes his rouse.
Is it a custom?
Aye, merry is't. But to my mind, though I'm native here and to the manner born, it is the custom more honored in the breach than the observance.
Look! My lord, it comes!
Angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or a goblin damned. Bring me the airs from heaven or a blast from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable. Oh, gums in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, King, Father, Royal Dane, oh, answer me. Let me not burst in ignorance and tell why thy canonized bones, burst in death, have burst in their cerements. Say, why is this? Wherefore? Oh, what should we do?
It beckons you to go away with it, as if it's some impartment and desire to you alone.
Look with what courteous action it waves you towards a more removed ground, but do not go with it.
No, by no means. Will not speak, and I will follow it. Do not follow it. What should be the fear it leads me forth again? I'll follow it.
What if it should drift you toward the floods, my lord, or to the dreadful summits of the cliff that beetles or is based into the sea, and there assume some other horrible form that might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness? Think of it!
Waves me still. Go on, I'll follow
You
it.
shall not go
Hold
there!
off your hands!
Be ruled, you shall not
My
go!
brain cries out! I say away! Go on, I'll follow thee.
Truax is desperate with imagination.
Let's follow! 'Tis not fit best to obey her!
And after, to what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark!
Heaven will direct it.
Nay, let's follow her!
Where will that lead me? Speak, I'll go no further!
Mark me!
I will.
My hour is almost come, when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself. Pity me not, but lend a serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. List, oh list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love,
Oh, God!
revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder! You will haste me to know it, that I, with wings as swift as the meditation or the thoughts of love, may sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt. Now, Hamlet, here, 'tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me. So the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle!
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit won to shameful lust the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air, brief let me be. Sleeping within my orchard, upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole with juice of cursed Hebnon in a vial, and in the porches of my ears did pour the leprous distilment. Thus was I, sleeping, thy brother's hand, of life, crown, of queen, at once dispatched, cut off e'en in the blossoms of my sin. Oh, horrible! Oh, horrible, most horrible! If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not! Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest! Howsoever thou pursuest this act, take not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodged prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. Adieu, Hamlet. Remember me.
Oh, you host of heaven, oh earth, and what else shall I call hell? Remember thee, I, a poor ghost, oh memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Oh, villain, smiling damned villain, be it as I set it down that one may smile and smile and be a villain. At least I'm sure it may be so in Denmark. So, Uncle, there you are. Now it is to my word. But you remember me? I have swords.
Lord Hamlet!
So be it. Emilio, oh boy, come back, come.
How is my noble lord?
What news, good my lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Good, my lord, tell it!
No, you reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven!
No, I, my lord.
Well, how say you then? Well, hearts of man once think it, but you'll be secret.
I, my lord.
By heaven!
So my friends, as you are friends, scholars, and soldiers, give me one poor request.
What is, my lord, we will?
Never to make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord.
We will not, nay, but swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I!
No, I, my lord, in faith.
Upon my sword.
We have sworn, my lord, already.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed.
Swear! Propose the oath, my lord!
Never to speak of this that you have seen. Swear by my sword.
Swear!
Come hither, gentlemen, and lay your hands again upon my sword. Never to speak of this that you have heard. Swear by my sword.
Swear!
At night! But this is wondrous strange.
Oh, and therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than I dreamt of in your philosophy. Oh, but come here as before. Never, so help me mercy, or strange or odd, soever I bear myself, as I pretend think meet, here that I shall hereafter think meet to put an antic disposition on, oh, that you at such time seeing me, never shall give it away that you know aught of me. Swear! Rest, return, spirit. So, friends, let us go in together and steal your fingers on your lips. I pray. Oh, the time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite, that never I was born to set it right. They, come, let's go together.
Come now, Ophelia, what's the
Oh,
matter?
my lord, I have been so affrighted!
What in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with her doublet all unbraced, her stockings fouled, ungartered, down-jived to her ankle, pale as her shirt, her knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous in purport as if she had been loosed out of hell. To speak of horror, she come before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said she?
She took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes she to the length of all her arm, and with her other hand thus o'er her brow, she falls to such perusal of my face as she would draw it. Long stayed she so. At last, a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice her head thus waving up and down, she raised a sigh so piteous and profound that it did seem to shatter all her being and end her being. That done, she let me go, and with her head over her shoulder turned, she seemed to find her way without her eyes, for out a door she went without their helps, and to the last spended their light on me.
Come, go with me. I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love. What, have you given her any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel her fetters and denied her access to me.
That hath made her mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I hath not quoted her. I feared she did but trifle. Come, go we to the king. This must be known, which, being kept close, might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you, the need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? What it should be, more than her father's death, that thus hath put her so much from the understanding of herself, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so by your companies to draw her on to pleasures, and together, so much as from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts her thus, that open lies within our remedy.
Good friends, she hath much talked of you. If it will please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to stay with us a while, for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fit to king's remembrance.
Oh, both your majesty's might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent, to lay our service freely at your feet, to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz, and I beseech you instantly too much change, daughter.
Heavens make our practices and presence helpful and pleasant to her.
Aye, amen. My good lord, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king. And I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy so sure as it hath used to do, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night, night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble daughter is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness, what is but nothing else but mad. But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That she is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true. A foolish figure, but farewell it, for I will use no art. Mad, let us grant her then. And now remains that we find out the cause of this effect, or rather say the cause of this defect, for this effect defective comes by cause. Thus it remains, and the remainder thus. Perpend. I have a daughter, while she is mine, who, in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the beautified Ophelia. That's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase, but you shall hear. Thus. In her excellent white bosom, these, etc.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Madam, stay a while, I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Thine evermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to her Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter shown me, and more above hath her solicitings, as they fell out by time, by means, and place, all given to mine ear.
But how hath she received her love?
What do you think of me?
As of a woman faithful and honorable?
I would fain prove so. But what might you think, when I had seen this hot love on the wing, what might you think? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress thus did I bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star, this must not be. And then I precepts gave her to lock herself on her resort, which being done, she took the fruits of my advice, and Hamlet, repulsed a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then into a fast, thence to a watch, thence into a weakness, thence to a lightness, and by this declension into the madness wherein now she raves, and we all mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be. Very likely.
Hath there been such a time, I'd fain known that, when I have positively said 'tis so, when it proved otherwise?
Well, not that I know.
Take this from this if it be otherwise.
How may we try it further?
You know, sometimes she walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
So she does indeed.
At such a time I'll loose my daughter to her. Be you and I behind an arras, then mark the encounter. If she love her not, and be not from her reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for the state, but keep a farm and carters.
We will try it.
Oh, but look where suddenly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, I do beseech you both away. I'll ward her presently. Oh, give me leave. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, you got him, Mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Oh, excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Not I, my
Well,
lord.
then I would you were so honest a woman.
Honest, my lord.
Ma'am, to be honest, as this world goes, is to be one person picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, my lord.
The sun breeds maggots in a dead dog, being a god-kissing carry-on. Have you a daughter?
I do, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
What say you by that? Still harping on my daughter. Yet she knew me not at first. She said I was a fishmonger. Ah, she is gone, far gone. And truly in my youth I suffered much extremity for love, very near this. I'll speak to her again. What do you read, my lord?
Words,
is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Slander, sir! For the satirical rogue says here, old women have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hands, all which, ma'am, I most powerfully and potently believe. Yet I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down for yourself, ma'am. Should be as old as I, if like a crab you could go backwards.
Though this be madness, yet there's method in't. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes her replies are. A happiness that sometimes madness hits on. I believe her, and suddenly contrive the means of meeting between her and my daughter. Mine honorable lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take anything from me that I will not more willingly part with all, except my life, except my life, oh, except my life.
Fare you well, my lord.
These tedious old fools.
You both seek the Lord Hamlet? There she is.
God save you, master.
My honored lord!
Weymouth, dear Lord.
Oh, my good friends, how dost thou, Guildenstern, our frozen friends? Good lads, how do ye both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we're not over happy. On Fortune's cap, we're not the very button.
Oh, no, no, the soles of her shoes?
Neither, my lord.
Oh, then you live about her waist or in the middle of her favors.
Ooh, faith or private suite.
Ooh, the secret part of fortune, oh, most true. She is a strumpet.
Yo, what's the news? None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Oh, then is doomsday near, but your news is not true. Let me question you more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of fortune, that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord.
Your Denmark's a prison.
Then is the world's one.
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons. Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why, then 'tis none to you. You know, there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me it is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh, God! I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space, were it not that I have bad dreams. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion.
Oh, beggar that I am even poor in thanks, but I thank you. Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Nay, come, nay. Speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Aye, anything but to the purpose. You were sent for. There's a kind of confession in your looks that your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. But let me conjure you by the rights of our fellowship and the obligation of our ever-preserved love. Be even and direct with me whether you were sent for or no.
What say you?
Yea! And I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen melt no feather. I have of late, wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises, and indeed it goes heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this grave, overhanging firmament, this majestical roof, fretted with the golden fire, why, it appears to me no other thing than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. I mean, what a piece of work is a man, how noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form, and moving, how express and admirable in action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, and yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not to me. No, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then when I said man delights not me?
To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what splendid entertainment the players shall receive from you. We caught them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service.
Well, what players are they?
Those you're wont to take delight in, the tragedians of the city.
Oh, there are the players.
So, gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore, your hands convent. You are welcome. But my uncle, father, and aunt, mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am a mad northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
Well be with you, gentlemen.
Lord Duke Guildenstern, and you two, at each your here. That great baby you see there is not yet out of her swaddling clothes. I will prophesy she comes to tell me of the players. Mark it. Oh, you say right, sir. A Monday morning, 'twas so indeed.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you. Venetius was an actor in Rome.
The actors are come hither, my lord.
Husband.
Upon mine honor.
Then time each actor on his ass.
The best actors in the world, my lord. Either for a tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, comical, historical, pastoral, tragical, comical, historical, pastoral, scene indivisible, or poem unlimited. A Seneca cannot be too heavy, no Plautus too light. For the law of writ and the liberty, these are the only ones.
Ow! Jeff, the judge of Israel, what a treasure hadst thou.
What a treasure had he, my lord?
I, one fair daughter, and no more, the one he loved passing well.
Still on my daughter!
Am I not in the right, old Jeff? Oh, you are welcome, masters, welcome all. I'm glad to see thee well. Welcome, friends. Oh, my old friend. Oh, thy face is valiant since I saw thee last. Oh, we'll have a speech straight. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my lord?
Well, I heard thee speak me a speech once. One speech in it I chiefly loved. 'Twas Aeneas' tale to Dido. There was about especially when he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it live in your memory, begin at this line. Let me see. Ooh, the rugged Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast. It is not so. Oh, it begins with Pyrrhus, the rugged Pyrrhus, whose sable arms black as his purpose did the knight resemble when he lay couched in the ominous horse. So proceed you.
For God, my lord, well spoken, with great discretion and great accent.
Anon he finds him, striking too short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls, repugnant to command. Unequal matched, Pyrrhus at Priam drives, in rage strikes wide, but with the whiff and wind of his fell sword, the unnerved father falls. Then, senseless Ilium, seeming to feel this blow, with flaming taunt stoops to his base, and with a hideous crash takes prisoner Pyrrhus' ear.
This is too long!
It shall be to the barbers with your beard. Prithee, say on. She is for a jig or a tale of bawdry, or she sleeps. Say on. Come to that Hecuba.
But who? Oh, who had seen the Moblet Queen?
Moblet Queen.
That's good. Moblet Queen is good.
Run barefoot, up and down, threatening the flames with fists and broom. A clout upon that head where late the diadem stood, who this had seen with tongue in venom steeped, 'gainst fortune state with treason have pronounced. But if the gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamor that she made, unless things mortal moved them not at all, would have made milch the burning eyes of heaven, and passion in the gods.
Look if she has not turned her color and has tears in her eyes. Pray you no more.
'Tis well. I'll have thee speak out the rest soon. Good. My lord, will you see these players well bestowed? Do here, let them be well used. for they are the abstract and brief chronicles of the time. After your death, you were better a bad epitaph than their ill report while you lived.
I will use them according to their desert.
God's bodykins, man, much better. Use every man after his own desert, and who should escape whipping? Use them after your own honor and dignity. The less they deserve, the more merit in your bounty. Take them in.
Come, sirs.
Follow her friends. We'll hear a play tomorrow. Dost thou hear me, old friend? Can you play the murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
Oh, that's tomorrow night. You could, for a need, study a speech of some 12 or 16 lines that have been set down and insert int. Could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Oh, very well. Oh, follow that lady and look you mock her not. My good friends, I'll leave you till night. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
Aye, so God be with you. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
We sent for Hamlet hither, that she, as poor by accidents, may hear affronts of Ophelia. My mother and myself, lawful aspires, will so bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, we may of her encounter frankly judge, and gather by her as she is behaved, if be the affliction of her love or no that thus she suffers for.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do wish your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope your virtues will bring her to her wanton ways again. To both your honours.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk you here. Gracious, so please you, we will bestow ourselves. Read on this book. The show of such an exercise may color your loneliness. I hear her coming. Let's withdraw, my lord.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by asleep to say we end that the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to, which is a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. Now there's the respect that makes calamity so long a life. Who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, that the pangs of despised love the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might as quietus make with a bare bodkin. For would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have and then fly to others we know not of, as conscience does make cowards of us all, and the native hue of resolution is sickly o'er with a pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment with disregard their currents, turn awry and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good, my lord.
How does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have some remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
Nope. Not I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did. And with them words of so sweet breath composed that made the things more rich. That perfume lost, take these again. For to the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord.
Are you fair?
What means your lord?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly. For the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd, and the force of honesty can translate beauty to his likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest, yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more fences at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imaginations to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should people as I do, crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant knaves all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to the nunnery. Where is your mother?
At home, my lord.
And let the doors be shut on her, that she may play the fool nowhere but in her own house. Farewell.
Oh, for you, sweet Ellen.
I have heard of your paintings too well enough. God has given you one face, and you make yourself another. You jig, and you amble, and you lisp, and you nickname God's creatures, and you make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to, I'll no more on't. It hath made me mad. I say, we will have no more marriages. Those that are married, all but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are to a nunnery. Go!
Oh, what a noble mind is your throne! Courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers, quite down. And I of ladies most deject and wretched that suck the honey of her music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason like sweet bells jangle. Out of tune and harsh, that unmatched form and feature of blown youth blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me to have seen what I have seen, see what I see.
Love! Affections do not that way tend, nor would she spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in her soul, or which her melancholy sits on brood, and I do doubt the hatch and the disclosed will be some danger. Which for to prevent, I have in quick determination thus set it down, she shall with speed to England. What think you of?
It shall do well, but yet I do believe the origin and commencement of her grief sprung from neglected love. How now, Ophelia, you need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said, we heard it all. My lord, do as you please, but if you hold fit, after the play, let her queen mother all alone entreat her. Let her show her grief. Let her be round with her, and I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she find her not, to England send her, or confine where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
pronounced it to you trippingly on the tongue. But do not mouth it as many of your players do. I just leave the town dry or spilled my lines. Nor do not saw the air with your hand too much thus, but use all gently, for in the very torrent, tempest, and as I may say, whirlwind of passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness. Oh, it offends me to the soul to hear a robustious, periwig-pated fellow tear a passion to tatters, to very rags, to split the ears of the groundlings, who, for the most part, are capable of nothing but inexplicable dumb shows and noise. Go! Make you ready? Oh, now, my lord, the king hear this piece of work, and the queen too, and present. Bid the players make haste. Oh, will you two help hasten them? We will, my lord. Oh, what's our Horatio?
Here, sweet lord, at your service.
Horatio, thou art e'en as just a friend as e'er my conversation coped withal.
Oh, good, my lord.
And nay, do not think I flatter. Give me that friend that is not passion's slave, and that will wear them in my heart's core. I, my heart of heart, as I do thee. There's something too much of this. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene in it comes near the circumstance which I told thee of my father's death. I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe mine uncle. If his occulted guilt do not uncandle itself in one speech, it is a damned ghost we have seen, and my imagination's as foul as Vulcan's stithy. Well, give him heedful note, for mine eyes will rivet to his face, and after we will both our judgments join in censure of our seeming.
Well, my lord, if he steal out the whilst the play is playing and scape detecting, I will pay the theft.
I must be out to get you away.
Now there's our cousin Hamlet.
Excellent of faith of the chameleon's dish. I eat the air promised crammed. You cannot beat capon, so.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now. Milady, you played once in the university, you say?
That I did, and was accounted a good actor.
Yeah, what did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
Oh, it was a brute part of him to kill so capital a calf there.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet, sit with me.
No, good mother. Here's metal more attractive.
Oh, ho, do you mark that?
Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Or did you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
Well, there's a fair thought to lie between maids' legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You are merry, my lord.
Who, I?
Aye, my lord.
Oh, God, you're only jig maker. What should a man do but be merry? Why, look you, how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within these 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord.
So long! Nay, then let the devil wear black for all of a suit of sables. Oh, heavens. Died 2 months ago, and not forgotten yet. Well, then there's hope a great man's memory may outlive his life half a year. Oh.
Full 30 times have famous courts gone round, since our hearts and our hands did unite commutual in most sacred bands.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again count o'er ere love be done. But woe is me, you are so sick of late, so far from cheer and from your former state that I distrust you. Yet, though I discomfort you, my lord, it nothing must. Where love is great, the littlest doubts are fear. Where little fears grow great, great love grows there.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My proper powers their functions leave to do. For husband shalt thou.
Oh, confound the rest! Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband let me be accursed. None with the second but who killed the first.
I do believe you think what now you speak, but what we do determine oft we break. So think thou wilt no second husband wed, but die thy thoughts when thy first lord is dead.
Nor earth to give me food, nor heaven light. Sport and repose lack from me day and night. both here and hence pursue me lasting strife, if once a widow ever I be wife.
Oh, if she should break it now!
'Tis deeply sworn. Sweet, leave me here a while. My spirits grow dull, and fain I would beguile the tedious day with sleep.
Sleep, rack thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain.
Oh, madam, how like you this play? The lady protests too much, methinks.
Oh, but she'll keep her word.
What do you call the play?
Oh, the mousetrap, Mary Howe. Tropically. For the play is the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago's the Duke's name. His wife, Baptista, you shall see anon, is a knavish piece of work. Oh, but what of that? Your Majesty and we that have free souls, it touches us not. This is one Lucianus, nephew to the king.
You are as good as a chorus, my lord.
Thoughts, blood, hands out, drugs fit, and time agreeing. Confederate season, with no creature seen. Thou mixture rank of midnight weeds collected, with hectic's band, thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire properties on wholesome life usurp immediately.
He poisons him in a garden for his estate. Gonzago's his name. The story's extant and written choice Italian. You shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's wife.
The king rises.
What? Frighted with false fire?
How fares, my lord?
Give over the plate.
Give me some light away!
I'll got a ratio. I'll take the ghost word for £1,000. Didst perceive?
Very well, my lord.
Down the talk of the poisoning.
I didn't very well note him.
Oh, come! Some music! Come! The recorders! But the king like not the comedy, why? But like he likes it not, Birdie. Come! Some music!
Good, my lord.
Oh.
Vouchsafe me a word with you.
Oh, sir, a whole history.
The king, sir,
Aye, sir, what of him?
is in his retirement marvelous distemper.
Ooh, with drink, sir?
No, my lord, rather with choler.
But then your wisdom would show itself more richer to signify this to his doctor. Or for me to put him to his purgation would perhaps plunge him into far more choler.
Good, my lord, put your discourse into some frame and start out so wildly from my affair.
I am tame, sir. Pronounce.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to
Well, you are welcome. Your behavior hath struck her into amazement and admiration. Oh, wonderful child that can so astonish a mother. Is there no sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration? In part, she desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed. Well, we shall obey, were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us? My lord, you once did love me. So I do still, by these pickers and stealers. Lord, my lord, what is your cause of distemper? You do freely bar the door against your liberty if you deny your griefs to your friend. The recorders, let me see one.
Oh, my lord, if my duty be too bold, my love is too unmannerly.
I do not well understand that. Will you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
I do beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
'Tis as easy as lying. Cover the vintages with your fingers and thumb. Give it breath with your mouth. And it will discourse most eloquent music. Look you, here are the stops.
But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Why, look you now how unworthy a thing you would make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. Do you think I am easier to be played upon than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you can fret me, you cannot play upon me. God bless you, man.
My lord, the queen would speak with you, and presently.
Do you see yonder cloud? That's almost in the shape of a camel.
By the mass, and 'tis like a camel indeed.
He thinks it is like like a weasel.
Tis back like a weasel.
Roar like a whale.
Very like a whale. Then I will come to my mother by and by. They fool me to the top of my bent.
I will come by and by.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said.
Leave me, friends.
Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagions to this world. Now I could drink hot blood and do such bitter business that the day would quake to look on. So now to my mother, I will speak daggers to her, but use none.
Like her not! Nor stands it safe with us to let her madness rage, therefore prepare you. I your commission will forthwith dispatch, and she to England shall along with you. The terms of our estate may not endure hazards so dangerous as doth hourly grow out of her lunacies. Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage, for we will fetters put upon this spear, which now goes too free-footed.
We will haste us.
My lord, she's going to her mother's closet. Behind the arras I'll convey myself to hear the process and warrant she'll tax her home. Fare you well, my lord. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it, a brother's murder. Pray, can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent, and like a man to double business bound, I stand and pause where I shall first begin, and both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force to be forestalled ere we come to fall, or pardoned being down? Then I'll look up. My fault is past. But oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me, my foul murder. That cannot be, since I'm still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder, my crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? In the corrupted currents of this world, offence's gilded hand shall buy justice, and oft is seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves compelled even to the teeth and forehead of our faults to give in evidence. What then? What rest? Try what repentance can. What can it not? Yet what can it when one cannot repent? O wretched state! O bosom black as death! O limed soul that, struggling to be free, art more engaged! Help, angels! Make assay! Bow, stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Now might I do it, Pat. Now he is praying, and now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so I am revenged. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole child, to this same villain sent to heaven? Oh, this is hire and salary, not revenge. He took my father grossly, full of bread, with all his crimes broad blown, as flush as May, and how his ardent stands, who knows save heaven. But in our circumstance and course of thought, 'tis heavy with him. And am I then revenged to take him in the purging of his soul, when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No! Up, sword, and know thou a more horrid head, when he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at gaming, swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in't, then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and his soul may be as damned and black as hell whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
She will come straight. Look, you lay hold to her. Tell her her pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and her. I'll sconce me even here. Pray you be round with her.
I'll warrant you fear me not. Withdraw, I hear her coming.
Mother! How now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, hitherto not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then I'll set those two that can speak.
No, come, sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set up a glass where you may see the inmost part
What will
of
thou
you.
do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help! Oh!
What? Help! Oh, no. A rat. Oh, dead for a ducat.
No,
Dead!
No! I am slain! Oh me, what hast thou done?
Oh, nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this?
A bloody deed. Almost as bad, mother, as kill a king and marry his brother.
Let's kill a king!
Aye, lady, 'twas my word. Oh, the wretched rash, intruding full farewell. I took thee for thy better. Oh, take thy fortune. Leave wringing of your hands. Peace! Sit you down, and let me wring your heart, for so I shall, if it be made, the penetrable stuff.
Me, what hast thou done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, those virtue, hypocrite, takes off the rose from a fair forehead of an innocent love, and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as dicers oaths.
Oh, what act that wrote so loud and thunders in the index?
Here on this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See, for grace was seated on this brow. This was your husband. Look you now what follows, like a mildewed ear blasting his wholesome brother. Have you none? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday and the blood is tame. It's humbled and waits upon the judgment, and what judgment would step from this to this? Oh, shame! Where is thy blush?
Let thou turns my eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their taste.
No, to live in the rank sweat of a steaming bed, stewed in corruption, humming and making love in a nasty
Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter my neck.
A king of shreds heads and bashes. Oh, save me and hover o'er me with your wings, you heavenly gods. What was your gracious figure?
Alas, she is mad.
Oh, do you not come your tardy child to chide that lapse in time and passion? Let's go with the important acting of your dread command, oh say.
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is it with you that you do bend your eye on vacancy within corporal air do hold discourse? Whereon do you look?
On him you look, you how pale he glares, his form and cause conjoined. Do not look upon me.
To whom do you speak this?
Well, did you see nothing there?
Nothing at all, yet all that is I see.
Well, nor did you nothing here?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Why, look you now how it steals away. My father in his habit as he lived, where he goes even now out of the portal.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation, ecstasy is very cunning in
Ecstasy? My pulse as yours doth temperately keeps time and makes us helpful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent what is past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them ranker.
Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worser part and live the purer with the other half. Oh, good night. Oh, for this same lady I do repent. I will bestow her and answer well the death I gave her. Also again, good night. I must be cruel, only to be kind. Thus bad begins and worse remains behind. What? I must to England. You know that.
Alack, I had forgot. But 'tis so concluded on.
This letter sealed, and my two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I do Adder's fame, they bear the mandate. They must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery. Let it work. Mother, good night. Oh, indeed, this counselor is most still, most secret, and most brave, who was in life a foolish, prating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, Mother.
There's matter in these sighs, these profound heaves. You must translate as fitly understand them. Where is your daughter?
Bestow this place in us a little while. Oh, my good lord, what have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind when both contend which is the mightier. In her lawless fit, behind the arras, hearing something stir, whips out a rapier, cries, a rat, and in this brainish apprehension, kills the unseen good old woman.
Oh, heavy deed. It had been so with us had we been there. Where is she gone?
To draw apart the body she hath killed, whom her very madness, like some mineral amongst the more of metal's base, shows itself pure. She weeps for what is done.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. No sooner shall the sun the mountains touch, but we will ship her hence, and this vile deed we must, with all our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Ho, Guildenstern! Friends both, go join her with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from her mother's closet hath she dragged her. Go seek her out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you hasten this. Come, Gertrude, we'll call up our wisest friends and tell them both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Oh, come away! My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Oh, safely stowed. Oh, what noise? Who calls on Hamlet? Oh, here they come.
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
We compounded it with dust whereto 'tis kin.
My lord, you must tell us when the body isn't go with us to the king.
The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord.
Of nothing. Bring me to him. No.
Oh, now! What have we befallen?
Where the body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from her.
But where is she?
Without my lord, guard it, to know your pleasure.
Bring her before us!
Come, Guildenstern, bring in my lord.
Now, Hamlet, where's Polonia?
At supper.
Supper. Where?
Not where she eats, but where she is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are eaten at her. A man may fish with a worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of the fish that hath fed on that worm.
What dost thou mean by this?
Nothing, but to show how a king may go a progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonia?
In heaven. Send thither to see. If your messenger find her not there, look for her in the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find her not within this month, you shall nose her as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go seek her there.
She will stay till ye come.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself for England.
For England.
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it, if thou knewst our purposes.
Come for England. Farewell, my dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Father and mother is man and wife is one flesh, and so my mother. Come for England.
Follow her afoot. Tempt her with speed aboard. Delay it not. I'll have her hence tonight. Away, for everything is sealed and done that else leans on the affair. Pray you make haste. And England, thou mayst not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full, by letters congruing to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England! For like the hectic in my blood, she rages, and thou must cure me. Till I know 'tis done, howe'er my haps, my joys were ne'er begun.
Not speak with her. She speaks much of her mother. Says she hears those tricks of the world, hems and beats her heart, spurns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshapen use of it don't move the hearers to collection. For good she were spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds. Let her come in. To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know? From another one, our cockle hat and staff, and her sandal shoon.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this
Pray
song?
you, nay, pray you, mark. She is dead and gone, lady, she is dead and gone. At her head a grasping turf, at her heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia.
Pray you, mark! White her shroud is a mountain snow, guarded with sweet flowers.
Alas, look here, my
Which
lord.
fetch the principal with good showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God illed you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her mother.
Pray you, let's have no words of this. But when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day. Oh, in the morning be time, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine.
Pretty Ophelia!
Indeed, law, without an oath, I'll make an end on't. Then up he rose and donned his clothes and doffed the chamber door. Let in the maid that out to May never departed more.
How long has she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient. But I cannot choose but weep to think that they should lay her in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Good night.
good night. Sweet ladies, good night, good night.
Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her mother's death. Out of my way!
Like what noise is this?
Oh, where is this king? Oh, thou vile king! Give me my mother!
Calmly, good Laertes.
That drop of blood that's come proclaims me bastard, cries cuckold to my mother, brands the harlot even here, between the chaste, unsmirched brow of my true mother.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Do not fear our person. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed?
Where is my mother?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came she dead? I'll not be juggled with to hell allegiance. I dare damnation. Let come what comes. Only I'll be most thoroughly revenged for my mother.
Who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world's. And for my means, I'll husband them so well, they shall go far with little.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your mother's death, and am most sensible in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment pierce as day does to your eye.
Hey,
Now, what noise is that?
Nonny, hey, Nonny, and in her grave reigned many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
Dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia! Oh heavens, is it possible a young maid's wits should be as mortal as an old man's life?
There's rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. And there is pansies. That's for thoughts.
A document in madness, thoughts and remembrance fitted.
There's fennel for you. And columbines. Oh, and there's rue for you. And here is some from me. We may call it herb graves to Sunday. So you must wear your rule with a difference. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my mother died. They say she made a good end, and will not come again. And will she not come again? Oh no, she is dead. Go to that bed. She never will come again.
Do you see this? Oh God!
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart. I tell thee true, Hamlet did kill your mother. Be you content to lend your patience to us, and we shall jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. Such a rumor I have heard. Her means of death, her obscure funeral, cry to be heard as 'twere from heaven to earth.
So they shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. Now must your conscience my acquaintance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend, since she which hath your noble mother slain pursued my life.
It well appears. But tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so crimeful and capital in nature.
The queen, her mother, lives almost by her looks.
And now have I a noble mother lost, and a sister driven into desperate terms, whose worth, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on mount of all the age for her perfections. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. You shortly shall hear more. I loved your mother, and we love ourselves, and that I hope will teach you to imagine. How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. This to your majesty. This to the queen.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first begging your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return, Hamlet. What should this mean? And in a postscript here she says, alone. Can you advise me?
I'm lost in it, my lord, but let her come. It warms the sickness in my heart, that I shall live and tell her to her teeth, thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, and how should it be so? How otherwise? will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord. So you will not overrule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. If she be now returned, I will work her to an exploit now ripe in my device, under the which she shall not choose but fall. And for her death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even her mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled, the rather, if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
Laertes, was your mother dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your mother, but that I know love is begun by time, and that I see in passages of proof time qualifies the spark and fire of it. But to the quick of the ulcer, Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself your mother's son in deed more than in words?
To cut her throat in the church!
Revenge should have no bounds. But, good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet return shall know you are come home. Will put on those shall praise your excellence, and wager on your heads. She, being remiss, most generous, and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a passive practice, requite her for your mother.
I will do it, and for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank so mortal, that but dip a knife in it where it draws blood. No cataplasm under the moon can save the thing from death, that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion that, if I but gall her slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. Wait, what convenience both of time and means may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift look through our bad performance to a better not essay. So, let me see. I have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end, and that she calls for drink, I'll have prepared her a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if she by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. Oh, how now, sweet queen!
One woe doth tread upon another's heels, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh, where?
There is a willow, grows aslant a brook, that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she come, of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead man's fingers call them. There, on the pendant boughs, the coronet weeds clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke, when down her weedy trophies, and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like a while they bore her up, which time she sang snatches of old tunes as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and undue to that element. But long it could not be till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, then she is drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. And yet, it is our trick nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will, when these are gone, the women will be out. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but this folly doubts it.
Let's follow, Gertrude. Oh, how much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
In youth, when I did love, methought 'twas very sweet to contract over the time I loved it better much. But with his stealing steps, it clawed me in his clutch and shipped me into the land as if I'd ne'er been such.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business, that he sings at grave making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
It is even so. The hand of little employment, half the day to your sense.
But age with his stealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch, and shipped me until the land as if I'd ne'er been such.
That skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground as if it were Cain's jawbone, the one that did the first murder.
A pickaxe and a spade, oh, and a shrouding sheet. A pit of clay for to be made for such a guest as sweet.
Well, there's another. Why may not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddities now? His quillets, his cases, his tenures, his tricks. Why does he suffer this rude knave now to knock him about the sconce with a dirty shovel, and will not tell him of his action of battery? I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave's this, Sirrah?
Mine, sir.
Oh, I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in't.
You lie out on it, ma'am, therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, and yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in't. To be in't and say 'tis thine, 'tis for the dead, not for the quick. Therefore thou liest.
Well, 'tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill away again from me to you.
Ah, what man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
Oh, what woman then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in't?
One, sir, that was a woman, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is. We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Oh, of all the days in the year, I came to it that day, the very day that young Hamlet was born. She that's mad and sent into England.
Aye, Mary, why was she sent into England?
Why? Because she's mad. She shall recover her wits there, or if she do not, 'tis no great matter there.
Well, why?
'Twill not be seen in her there. There the women are as mad as she.
How came she mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, even with losing her wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark. I've been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
Well, how long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Faith, if he be not rotten before he die, he will last you some 8 year, 9 year. Here's a skull now. This skull hath lain in the earth 23 years.
Oh, whose was it?
A horse and mad fellows it was. Whose do you think it was?
Well, nay, I know not.
Pestilence on him for a mad rogue. Poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, is Yorick's skull, King's Jester.
This?
Even that.
Well, let me see. Oh, hey. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest and most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now, how abhorred in my imagination it is. Well, here, hung those lips that I have kissed, I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set a table on a roar. Not one now to mock your own grinning. Get you to my lady's chamber, and tell her, let her paint an inch thick, that to this favor she must come. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked of this fashion at the grave?
Even so.
Oh, and smelt so?
Even so, my lord.
Oh, to what base uses we may return, Horatio. Soft, aside. Oh, here comes the king, the queen, the courtiers, who is they follow, such maimed rites. This doth token, the course they follow did with a desperate hand to outdo its own life. Twas in some estate, or couch me a while in mark.
What ceremony else?
Oh, this is Laertes, a very noble youth. Mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranted. Her death was doubtful, and but that great command o'ersways the order, she should, in ground unsanctified, have lodged till the last trumpet.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be, while thou liest howling.
What? The fair Ophelia.
Sweets to the sweet. Farewell.
Hold off the earth a while, till I have caught her once more in my arms. Now, pile your dust upon the quick and dead, till of this flat a mountain you have made.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil take thy soul!
Well, thou prayest not.
Ah!
I prithee take thy fingers from my
Look at us
No,
all!
I am not splendid and rash, yet I have something in me dangerous which let thy minds in fear.
Good my lady,
Hold on
quiet.
my hands! Why, I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag. I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with their quantity of love, make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, she is mad, Laertes!
Swoon! Show me what thou do! Would weep, would fast, would fight, would tear thyself, would drink up easel, would eat a crocodile, I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me with leaping in her grave? Be buried quick with her, and so will I.
This is mere madness.
Hear you, sir. What is the reason you use me thus? I loved you ever, but it is no matter. Let Hercules do what he may. A cat will mew, and dog will have her day.
Horatio, wait upon her. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your daughter. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience, our proceeding be.
So much for the suit. Now you shall see the other. You do remember all the circumstance.
Remember it, my lord.
Our indiscretion sometimes serves us well when our deep plots do pall, and that should teach us there is a divinity that shapes our ends, refute them how we will.
That is most certain.
But let thou hear how I did proceed.
I beseech you.
Here's the commission. Being thus benetted round with villains, I set me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair. Wilt thou know the effect of what I wrote?
Aye, good my lord.
An earnest conjuration from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, that upon the view and knowing of these contents, he should the bearers put to sudden death.
So Guildenstern and Rosencrantz are dead.
Why, man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience. I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. For by the image of my cause, I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favors, but sure, the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace. Who comes here?
Your ladyship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost thou know this waterfly?
No, good my lord.
Well, thy state is the more gracious.
Sweet lady, if your ladyship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
Well, I will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit. Wait, put your bonnet to his right use. 'Tis for the head.
I thank your lady, it is very hot.
No, believe me, it is very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lady, indeed.
Oh, but yet methinks it is very sultry and hot for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lady, it is very sultry, as 'twere I cannot tell how. But, my lady, her majesty bade me signify to you that she has laid a great wager on your head. Ma'am, this is a matter.
I beseech you remember.
Nay, good, my lady, for mine is in good faith. Ma'am, here is newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of most excellent differences and a very soft society and great showing.
The concernancy, sir. Why do we wrap the gentleman in our more raw breath?
My lady.
It's not possible to understand in another tongue. You will do it, sir, really.
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes.
His purse is already empty. All's gold and words are spent.
Of him, sir.
I know you are not ignorant.
Why would you did, and yet in faith if you did it would not much approve me. Well, sir.
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
I dare not confess that, lest I should compare with him in excellence.
I mean, ma'am, for his weapon.
Oh, what's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's 2 of his weapons, but well.
The king hath laid that in a dozen passes between yourself and him he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath laid on 12 for 9, and it would come to immediate trial if your ladyship would vouchsafe the answer.
Well, how if I answer no?
I mean, my lady, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall, if it please his majesty. The foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king his purpose. I shall win for him, and I can. If not, I'll gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Shall I redeliver you in so?
Oh, to this effect, sir. After what flourish or nature will.
I commend my duty to your ladyship.
Oh, yours. He does well to commend it himself. There's no tongues else for his turn.
This lapwing runs away with a shell on his head. You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. But thou wouldst not know how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter.
Good, my lord.
It is but foolery. But it is a kind of gain-giving that would, perhaps, trouble a woman.
If your mind is like anything, obey it. I'll forestall this repairer and say you are not fit.
Not a whit! We defy augury. There is a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. If no man of aught he leaves knows, what is't to leave betimes? Let be.
Come, Hamlet, come, and take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong, but pardoned as you are a gentleman. This presence knows, and you must needs have heard, how I am punished with sore distraction. What I have done that your nature, honor, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Was Hamlet wronged Laertes? Never Hamlet. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts, that I have shot mine arrow o'er the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in a nature whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge. But, till that time, I do receive thy offered love like love, and I will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Give us the foils, come on!
Come, one for me.
Oh, be a foil, Laertes, and in mine ignorance your skill shall like a star in the darkest night stick fiery off indeed.
Do you mock me, my lord?
Oh, no, by this hand.
Give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lord. Your majesty hath laid the odds of the weaker side.
Oh, I do not fear it. I have seen you both, but since he is veteran, we have therefore odds.
This one is too heavy. Let me see another.
Well, this one likes me well. Well, these foils have all a length.
Aye, my good lady.
Set me the stoup of wine. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, the king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup an union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Come, begin, and you the judges, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
It won! No! Judgment!
A hit! A very excellent hit!
Well, I can't stay. Give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health.
I'll play this bout first, son of Iowa. Never hit, what say you?
A touch I do confess.
Our daughter shall win.
She's fat and scant of breath. Come, Hamlet, take my napkin, wipe thy brow. The queen carouses to your fortune.
Okay, good, madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
It is the poison cup. It's too late.
Madam.
Come, Hamlet, let me
Bye and
vent thy
bye.
My lord, I'll hit her now.
I do not think so.
And yet 'tis almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes, you but dally come. Perhaps with your best violence. I'm afraid you make a wanton of me.
Say you so? Come on!
Nothing neither way!
How about you now?
Pardon their insanity!
Come again! Look to the queen there! Ho!
No, they bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is it, Laertes?
I am a woodcock to my own spring, Josric. I am justly killed with my own treachery.
How does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No, the drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet, the drink. I'm poisoned.
The villainy! Oh! Let the doors be locked! Treachery! Seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. There is not half an hour of life in thee. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned. I can no more. The king is to blame.
The point in venom too. Then venom to thy what? No!
Don't then defend me, friends. I am but hurt.
Here, thou incestuous, murderous Dane, drink off this potion. Is thy union here? Follow my mother.
He is justly killed. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my mother's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. Oh, I am dead, Horatio. Oh, wretched queen, yet you, oh, you that look pale and tremble at this chance that but mute or audience to this act, had I but time. Oh, as this fell sergeant's death is strict in his arrest, oh, I could tell you, but let it be. Oh, Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report to me and my cause of rights to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. There's yet some liquor left.
Knowest thou your friend to give me the cup? The dope I haven't a hand! Oh, good Horatio. What a wounded name. Things standing thus unknown shall live behind me. Oh, I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite o'ergrows my spirit. Oh, if thou ever didst hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story, the rest is silence.
angels sing thee to thy rest.